do what I must.
Maybe he could be a good tailorer or leather worker or something like that. Let's talk to Amiri. We're gonna talk? Amiri utters a weary sigh. Alright, spill it, I'm listening. We're just talking, you don't like it? Amiri shrugs several times, perhaps flexing her muscles, or maybe just filling in the silence. Dunno, she admits at last. Depends that we're gonna talk about. If it's about monsters or swords or scars, I approve, that's good. And if you're gonna ask questions like why and what for and how, screw this. Amiri looks you over slowly, head to toe. Or you got even harder ones? Tell me about yourself. This simple question seems to puzzle Amiri. She scratches her head, then starts counting on her fingers. First, I'm a barbarian. I'm strong. I grew up in the realm of the Mammoth Lords. I left my tribe, the Six Bears. Amiri looks thoughtfully at her four bent fingers and shrugs. And I like fights, she concludes, bending her thumb. Realm of the Mammoth Lords. A realm of megafauna inhabited by humans almost as savage as the prehistoric beasts surrounding them. The realm of the Mammoth Lords is a land in Avistan's far north that is home to a myriad nomadic tribes of Celtic barbarians. What's it like to be a barbarian in a Six Bears tribe? Ha! Our people are big and strong. We can't cut a monster in half with one swing. We can cut a monster in half with one swing. We can walk 3 days and nights with no rest. We can eat a whole fried aurochs. I guess you had to do a lot of training to become as strong as you are. Training? No one freaking trained me. The boys of the Six Bears got the training. All I could do was watch. Amiri's eyes gleam with anger. And you know what? They were still crap even after all the training, because I kicked their butts hard. Animals, bandits, monsters, all thought they were stronger than me. Idiots! Amiri spits on the ground. Because if you start a fight, you think you can win. You think you're stronger than your enemy. Amiri raises her chin proudly. I defeated them all. See all the scars on my face? What does the realm of Mammoth Lords look like? Huge and freezing, no place for weaklings. Amiri narrows her eyes as if evaluating your ability to survive her homeworld. Tribes hunt aurochs herds to survive. Aurochs are fast, so tribe follows herd for days, just to not die of hunger. If you are weak, you stay behind and die in the snow. Tribe cannot stop. Also, there are giants and mammoths. Sometimes demons come too. And the mastodons. And the saber-toothed tigers. Miri grins. You would survive, I think. For a few days, ha! Why did you leave the tribe? 'Cause they were assholes, all of them. Men were cowards and scoundrels, and women were scared like sheep. Amiri rolls her bloodshot eyes in fury. Man, they think no girls can be fighter. Because they are weak, they are afraid a woman can beat them. And females just not. Go sew hides, cook meat, watch kids. That's what they always say. But I'm a warrior, damn it. I won't cook hides and watch meat. Amiri is already shouting, her fist clenched tightly. I told them so. I went hunting with them, with men. And what did I get? Still the same. You're a woman, you stay home. Even gave me a nickname, the Soft Chieftain. Like a warrior woman was a funny joke. Damn, I even went to hunt those shit-faced frost giants, and there. And Mary suddenly stops, breathing heavily, sweat beading on her forehead. After a moment, Amiri waves her hand awkwardly and forces herself to grin. Where I left. Cowards, scoundrels, and sissies they were. That's why. You are quite a good fighter. Amiri jerks her head up. Quite good, huh? Compared to who? If I was a crappy male, I'd fight better. Is that what you say? She glares at you, her eyes narrow. Or you say it could be better? Like, go get some training, Amiri, right? Lawful neutral? I meant exactly what I said. You are quite a good fighter. Don't raise your voice to me ever again. Good. You are very good in a fight. You are an excellent warrior. I've just given you a compliment, that's all. Yeah. For several more seconds, Amiri continues to glare at your face with suspicion. Then, all of a sudden, she mellows. True, I fight good. That's what I do best. You're rather rude, you know. You bet! Amiri grins then suddenly frowns. I'm a fighter, big and strong. Everyone's afraid of me. I can't play this softy. Who would ever fear me then? The contemplative expression disappears from Amiri's face, replaced by a gloomy grin. I enjoy being feared. When I pass by and all the sissies almost faint, knees trembling, teeth chattering, shit dripping down their pants, Amiri falls silent, fascinated by the picture of your imagination. Thanks for telling me, let's talk about something else. Why not? Amiri frowns, but you feel she's glad to change the subject. So why did you leave your tribe, and what's the story about the Frost Giants? I told you already, they were assholes. They treat women like sheep, not fighters. Amiri frowns. As for giants, I'll tell you later, someday. Maybe. That's a formidable sword, but it's not just a simple weapon, is it? You bet it's not simple. Check out how big it is. He proudly raises the blade, and you notice that even though Amiri is extremely strong, she still has difficulty wielding such a large sword. This sword belonged to a real blasted frost giant. I killed the beast and took his looker for myself. Fits me perfect. My damned trophy. Amiri's eyes flash with menace, as if she's challenging some invisible enemy to try taking away her trophy. Thanks for talking with me. Let's speak again later. Talking. When will we do some monster killing instead? Amiri sighs and turns away. A dogo. Okay, we go inside. Lindsay was inside. There she is. Let's talk to her. A halfling girl with tousled hair, tousled, wearing a dusty traveler's outfit, sits chewing the tip of her quill. Just a moment. How should I put this? Oh, I know. She scribbles something quickly in a notebook, scrawled with words, raises her eyes, and gives you a bright smile. Oh, hi! Tell me about yourself. What do you want to know? Where are you from? I'm from all over. Ha! I was actually born in Gaul, in such a tiny village that it's not even on the maps. If it weren't for my teacher, I'd still be living there, milking goats, weeding turnips, swilling homebrew, having babies, and using books only as kindling. Gaul. A nation of three thinkers and radicals renowned for brilliant poets, artists, and philosophers whose ideas shaped the politics of the whole of Avestan. Gaul was once a vassal nation of Chelyaks. After the death of Aroden and the rise of the House Thrune in Chelyaks, the people of Gaul decided to throw off their foreign rulers, along with their own nobles who had colluded with them. The executions did not end the bloodshed, and within 5 years, the severed heads of the ministers of the first government rolled down the steps of legality. In the 40 years since, over a dozen governments have ruled Gaul, rising and falling like the waves of the stormy sea. Oh. How was your teacher? He's a true saint. He was once an important person in the capital at the Church of Chenin, but he got in trouble with the authorities and went on a self-imposed exile to the tiniest, most godforsaken, priestless village she could find, the one where I was born. Another known as it. Ah, yeah, okay. Ah, goddess of love. Oh, yeah. He wanted to open a school, but the villagers wouldn't let him. You can heal us all you like, but no putting any ideas into children's heads. It'll only distract them from their work. But he did teach me on the sly. taught me how to read, how to write, and he gave me books, poems, legends. He was the one who told me about the Arknights of Avistan, and when I told him I was going on a journey, he gave me a magic ring so that Shelyn would protect me from harm. Avistan? Avistan is a continent on the world of Golarion. One of the most heavily settled areas on the planet, Avistan possesses as many varied cultures and environments as any other continent in the world, and an ancient history stretching back tens of thousands of years. Brevoy, the River Kingdoms, Numeria, and the Stonelands are all situated on Avistan. I haven't seen him since I ran away from home. I hope he's alright. I ask Shelyn every day to grant him a long life. And new students. Arknights of Avistan, who are they? Oh, you haven't heard of them? How can you be a heroine without knowing one of the most epic stories in the history of stories? No, I won't spoil anything. You should just read about them yourself, every single chapter. Their adventures are what gave me the idea of going on a heroic quest and writing about it to begin with. And now look at me, here I am, on a heroic quest. How did you become a bard? When I realized there was nothing for me at home besides more reddish patches, I decided to run away. A traveling book peddler, Tessie the Quill, happened across our village. Well, I stuck to her like a burr and wouldn't let go until she agreed to take me as an apprentice. Together we traveled everywhere, to Brevoy and Talda and even Ustalav, and then I found out about the Academy of Grand Arts in Pitax, and I thought, well, I love reading stories, so I can surely learn to write them too. I enrolled on my first try, and they even gave me a scholarship. Then they expelled me. But that's okay. They'd already taught me all the important stuff, and now with Shelyn's help, I can manage on my own. Academy of Grand Arts. Talda, Ustalav. Who's Talda? The mighty empire of Talda once stretched from the Arcadian Ocean to the border of the Padishah Empire of Klesh. Rodin himself was set to walk among the people of Talda, and his religion, a shining beacon unto the world, radiated outward from Taldor's gilded capital of Opara. Taldor's ancient armies of exploration established footholds for the empire throughout Golarion, and its mighty phalanxes marched for thousands of miles during the Shining Crusade to beat back the Whispering Tyrant. Now Taldor is a stunted remnant of its old glory, having lost control of its daughter territories, and is almost ignored by the powerful countries today, which assume it will continue its slow decline for at least another century. Ustalav, the immortal principality of Ustalav, is a fog-shrouded nation of countless horrors, and a once proud realm that suffered under the clawed hands of the Whispering Tyrant for centuries. Academy of Grand Arts. While not as popular as some of the great schools of the Inner Sea, Pitax's Academy of Grand Arts still manages to attract some students seeking greater specialization. Do you worship Shelyn? Yes, not to offend the other gods, but she's the most important of them all. All the other gods guard the world as it is, but only the Eternal Rose, the goddess of beauty, calls us to the world as it should be. Why are your clothes so messy? Lindsay waves her hand carelessly. Forget it, I can't waste money on looks. I'd rather buy books instead. In 100 years, when people are reading my works, they aren't going to ask whether the author had holes in her sleeves. Let me ask you about something else. Of course, please ask. I'd be happy to chat all day. You come from Pitax, right? Tell me more about it. Oh, I love Pitax, even though they kicked me out. A joyful place. What is life in Pitax like? Actually, Pitax has always been one huge nest of thieves. Bandits, river pirates, smugglers, fences, card sharps. Card sharps? It's always been home for the likes of them. But that was before I already became king. With him, a whole different life began there. Fence? I already always wanted to make history, but not as another bandit with a crown. Though that's exactly what he is. Ha! He wanted to be glorified through the centuries as a great patron of the arts, so he built the Academy of Grand Arts and spent lots of gold to assemble the best artists, poets, and musicians. Of course, the very best ones refused to go, but he got what he wanted in a way. If Pitox was once just a booze barn for thieves, now it's a cabaret. What do you know of King Iruveti? He won his crown in a game of cards, which says as much about Pitox as it does about him. He's fiendishly clever. Some cheats I know told me that from the moment he appeared, he started pulling off such schemes that the old city master just scratched their heads. With him in charge, gold flooded into Pitox. And also, he's incredibly, unimaginably, fantastically decadent and conceited. Getting drunk with whores at a pub, that's not Lord Iruveti's style. Oh no, he aims higher. Dressing up like a male Calistria with a golden codpiece and holding a 3-week orgy, with dancing on the rooftops, parades, public executions, and the contest for the best ode to the great unrivaled king. That's more like it. Calistria. Calistria, also known as the Savored Sting and the Unquenchable Fire, is the goddess of lust and revenge, who takes on many faces and guises. She's held in especially high regard by elves, who often identify with her mercurial moods and changeable nature. A fondness for wasps has earned this vengeful deity the title of Savored Sting. Such creatures live on after harming their enemies. I see, yeah. Mercurial. He also likes singing. And he orders his guards to make the citizens gather for his shows. May Shellin have mercy on his listeners. Tell me about the academy you studied at. You know, jokes aside, I'm thankful to Iruveti for building it, but he has no taste at all. Whatsoever. He likes his art loud, bright, grandiose, and most importantly, glorifying his Royal Highness. He kicked out the best charcoal artist, because he didn't wish to spend money on grey scribbles. He sacked a masterful flute player from Tianxia for playing too quietly, and instead ordered them to open a kettle drum glass. He even ordered the academy to expel me. And for what? An innocent limerick. Would you like to go back to academy and finish your studies? I'd like to return, but on one condition. If they threw out 3/4 of the professors who teach there now and returned all the ones they banished. If you ask me, I'm proud to have been expelled. If my art was to Iruveti's liking, then I would have reason to be ashamed. As long as mediocre lickspittles sit at the academy and those with real talent beg on the streets of Pitox, I will not cross the threshold of that place. Let me ask you about something else. Of course, please ask. Tell me about that book you're writing. What is there to tell? You've seen some of my rough drafts already, haven't you? It's a book about you and your adventures. I'm writing the whole truth, just as it happened. Well, the whole artistic truth. You know, no glory, no story. Why are you writing it? What's the point? When I was at the academy, Eobald the Insightful began his literature course with the question, what is a person? And he answered, a person is a storytelling animal. Our world does not consist of things. All these woods, seas, and cities. It consists of stories about those things. The stories we tell to ourselves and to each other. Just think about it. Centuries will pass, and there will be no me and no you. All your subjects will be long gone, but you and I will live on in people's memories and influence their deeds, thanks to this very book. Your book is full. What kind of character am I? Truth be told, I was a little afraid of meeting a real hero. In books, they are all protectors of the weak and poor, but what about in real life? But you eased all my fears with 2 shakes of a day. You are a true heroine, just like in the legends. My new fear is that in 100 years my readers will say that people like you never existed, but I'm writing the truth. Sometimes you follow the rules and sometimes you make up your own. Your actions are hard to predict. It's what makes you so interesting to read about. How do you feel about me reading your work in progress? Well, these are only drafts, but of course you are welcome to read them. Just keep in mind that even if you don't like what I write about, I won't change a single letter, so don't even ask. Of course, it's a book about you, but it's my book, understood? The small writer's eyes glow rebelliously. Okay. Write whatever you wish. I doubt you would defame me or, for that matter, overpraise. Thank you for your trust. I will not set out to please you, of course, but I still hope that you like my book as much as my other readers. Let me ask you about something else. Tell me about your friendship with Tessie the Quill. What's there to say? The book woke my urge to travel, but it was only thanks to Tessie that I managed to really get out of my village. At first, Tessie tried in vain to get rid of me, but later, when I told her I was staying in Pitax, even shed a tear. I wonder where she is now. What is the deal with the ring you always wear on your finger? Ah, this. Lindsay holds her arm for you to get a clear view of the ring. It was a gift to me from my first teacher. It's magical, imbued by the powers of Shelley, no less. When I get myself in trouble, it transports me to a safe spot. Oh, really? Oh, really? I learn about that now? I have to go. Just don't leave without me. Of course, I could just write whatever you tell me, but if I wanted to stay cooped up in a dusty room, I'd still be sleeping through lectures at Academy. So, let's talk to Svetlana. Good day. I hope you're feeling all right after the battle. I can't thank you enough for what you've done. I definitely don't want to waste your time, but if you have a moment, I have a request. What did you want to ask me? Svetlana lowers her head. This is a very personal request, and maybe not important enough for your time. I'll completely understand if you say no. But the first time the Stag Lord's thugs came here demanding money, they also took my wedding ring. Just tore it off my hand. It's just a trinket, really, but it meant so much to me. I remember every moment of the day Oleg came to me, that ring in one hand, to ask if I'd marry him. I was standing in a fancy dress on the stairs of my father's home, fearing that I'd misheard something, or that I'd say something stupid and everyone around would laugh. But Svetlana interrupts herself, shaking her head gently. If you happen to find my ring among the bandits' possessions, please bring it back to me. It's easy to recognize. My name is engraved inside the band. Svetlana drops her eyes, lowering her voice. There's one more thing. Among the bandits, there's a dark-haired woman who wields dual axes. She's not bad in a fight. In fact, she can be extremely dangerous and cruel. But please, I beg you, show her mercy if you have the chance. I can't promise anything, but if I do come across your ring, I'll return it to you. I understand. I appreciate any effort you put into it. Tell me about yourself. How did you and your husband find the courage to establish a trading post in the Stonelands? It was Oleg's idea, though I supported him in it. We didn't realize how dangerous it was here, of course. In Restov, everyone expects the sword lords, everyone accustomed to relying on them. Respects them. Even the mention of someone like Lady Jamandi could be enough to fend off a street thug or some other trouble. It could maybe even work in some places here, but not with the Stag Lords, man. What can you tell me about the Stag Lord? He's not just some average bandit. If no one puts a stop to him, he'll turn the stolen lands into his personal kingdom. A kingdom of fear and oppression. I like adventures, but I definitely prefer the ones that involve stopping villains and helping people. I can't thank you enough for the hope you've given me, but please be careful, the Stag Lord is extremely dangerous. I have to go forward. And this lady. Enorial 8 eyes. The elf looks straight at you, through the tangled hair falling over her face. Hey, you're an adventurer, right? Seeking your fortune in stolen lands? You aren't the only one of your kind here. Take my advice, keep your eyes open and watch your back. Sometimes the ones who call themselves your friends are more dangerous than your enemies. Judging by the elf's voice, it's obvious that she started the day with a jug of wine. Who are you? The elf grunts. Enorial 8 Eyes. Once upon a time I was famous throughout Absalom. Enorial 8 Eyes of the Reckless 6. Well, glory passes quickly. A few miserable decades later and no one recognizes you on the street anymore. What a shame. Absalom. For more than 4,000 years, Absalom has been the city at the center of the world, a metropolis-sized showcase of the greatest treasures in all of Golarion. The city not only holds a key strategic position for both commercial and military endeavors in the region, but encompasses the site of the ascension of 4 deities and claims to have been founded by none other than the last Aslanti, the god abode. What are you doing here? I sit here waiting for adventurers who are in need of help. We may be sitting here in a backwoods tavern, but in Absalom I have a lot of friends who are eager to make a few coins. They have brave hearts, but shallow pockets. A little gold would be a welcome change for them. I can send them a message and they will come from Absalom through a portal. If you're interested, just give me a sign and we'll arrange everything right away. Also, I can summon the tutors from the Pathfinder Society, who can retrain you and your companions. They are quite willing to do this for free, the first 3 times you request their services. After that, the price for retraining will gradually increase. Such is their way of doing business with all new clients. Pathfinder Society. The Pathfinder Society is a globe-spanning organization based out of Absalom. The membership consists primarily of Pathfinders, adventurers who travel throughout Golarion, usually inconspicuously, and explore, delve, and otherwise experience the lesser-seen parts of the world. They send journals documenting their travels back to their adventure captains, who also assigns them new missions and suggests new places to explore. The most exciting and illuminating of these journals are compiled in the Pathfinder Chronicles, an ongoing series of books that collect the history and mystery of Golarion for its membership and the general public. I need loyal and experienced fighters. I have friends like that. Just decide who exactly you'll need and they come on my signal. This will cost you 2,000 gold pieces. Oh, let me think about it. Think as long as you like. I'm not going anywhere. I'd like tutor service. Why are you called 8 Eyes? Once long ago I could spot an enemy and pin him to the wall before he could even think of attacking. Some said I had 8 eyes and looked all around at once. Though it seems I've outlived my nickname. Enorial stretches her arm forward. Her palm trembles noticeably. I've been drinking too much lately. It's best I don't test my skills too often. Where were you when the trading post was attacked? I was hunting. Got a little lost in the mist, which is the first time that's happened to me. I guess I should go easier on the drink. But don't you imagine I'd be scared of a good fight. If only I'd known I was If only I'd known I was missing all the action. But see, you've got everything under control. Would you like to join me? No. I've got enough things to do already. You'd better manage on your own. A famous Pathfinder here in the middle of nowhere? Why? You want to know how one could exchange the life of a Pathfinder for this sorry drunken rat hole? The light in Enoriel's eyes goes out as if someone had blown out a candle. You'll lose all your friends because of one scumbag, and then you'll understand. I was the only one to return from the final campaign of the Reckless Six, and whatever's left of me can't be called a seeker anymore. Enoriel remains silent for a long time, as if wondering if she wishes to poke the old wound. Here's the story. Our leader, Wormald, was the best of us. Wise, brave, friends with everyone. One of those friends, Adricent, sent him a disturbing letter. He stumbled upon mention of some ancient books on the art of necromancy. Secrets like those are best left hidden forever. Trust me, I've seen what that kind of magic can do. The elf bites her lip. To make a long story short, these volumes were supposedly hidden in the catacombs of Gallows Spire. We decided that the books should be retrieved and kept safe by the society. Gathered in a tavern, discussed the expedition, then proceeded to Istalan. It was a normal mission, a quick and quiet recovery. And Noriel smiles bitterly. But everything turned out to be much more complicated. We barely made it through the Witchgate forest. All those terrible living trees, undead druids and their arcs of bone. It was a miracle we managed to make it out alive. We chosen Renchurch to stop it. It was marked on Wormald's map as a safe enough haven to hole up and lick our wounds. How I wished that had been true. Wormald was the first to perish. He was attacked by one of the monsters hiding in the stables. It tossed him about like a feather and threw him down an ancient well. His shout echoed for a long time, and I didn't hear the sound of him landing. And then, Enoriel pauses and turns away, hiding her eyes. Enough. I shouldn't have gotten into this. Who am I to stir up others' feelings with all my chatter? We'd better forget about it for now. Maybe I'll tell you more some other time, but not today. I want to know more about the Pathfinder Society. What exactly are you interested in? What is the purpose of this society? It's a school of adventurers. We search for those who are eager to test their skills, and we educate them and give them ideas about where on Golarion they might seek their fortune. They look for forgotten knowledge, secrets and lost artifacts. They are explorers and pathfinders. We are a sort of mutual assistance club for adventurer lovers. We exchange experience, share knowledge and keep careful records, in case it proves useful to future expeditions. And also, we publish books for thrill seekers and board your urban teenagers from wealthy families. What kind of members does the society have? All sorts of adventurers. We have representatives from all races, religions and beliefs. The Grand Lodge is in Absalom, but there are many smaller lodges throughout Golarion, and the venture captains direct pathfinders to their goals from across all the corners of the world. There are many renowned heroes in the society, and many scoundrels as well, whose service to the society has brought them fame. Who does the society support? You mean, who does it serve? No one in particular. Pathfinders try not to get involved in the quarrels of others. They serve only the spirit of adventure, and sometimes they happen to save the world. However, that doesn't mean there are no black sheep among the seekers. We'll talk about this later. Regarding your story, Enoria looks at you silently. What happened in Renchurch? The elf shakes her head. I have no wish to fill your sleep with nightmares. When you prove that you can stand firm in battle, that you can achieve victory without losing yourself along the way, then I will tell you of the horrors that waited us in Renchurch. Remind me how the... Yeah, we can talk about this later. Let's talk about something else. I have to go.